Are you involuntarily celibate, or at least undersexed, underloved, and underappreciated? If so, we need to talk. Drew Amend here with Pheromone Advantage, and I'm here to talk about the most exciting news about sex in years. And I don't know how you found this video or who referred you here, but you're here now, and that's all that matters, because this will be the most important video you'll ever watch. Let me explain why. In this short video, I'm going to show you how new advances in human pheromone technology are helping people just like you and I to attract the opposite sex like a magnet. No matter who you are or how well you play your game, pheromones can help you take it to the next level. Even if you don't think of yourself as being attractive now, or even if you're married and haven't had sex in years, or even if you're single and you've never been on a date. Are you a man? Great, you'll learn precisely what pheromones men can use to attract women or even your wife. Are you a woman? Fantastic. You'll discover the pheromone scent that no man can resist and why pheromones are so effective at attracting the opposite sex, even if they've rebuffed your advances in the past. Plus, I'll share with you some of the dirty little secrets that men and women have shared with me over the years, and precisely how they have used pheromones to get their love lives back on track, and how you can use the same pheromone technology to experience more affection, intimacy, and more sex than you ever thought possible. And be sure to watch this video in its entirety, because I have a special surprise in store for those who watched it to the very end, and you definitely don't want to miss out on that. And be sure to watch it now, because at any moment we may be forced to take this video down by the media big shots who think that you shouldn't know anything about this amazing new technology. And let me tell you, consider it destiny to have found this video in the first place, because you'll never see something like this advertised on Facebook or Google because they simply won't allow it. Plus, one more thing, and I'll explain everything that you need to know about pheromones and how to dramatically improve your love life if you promise me this one thing, that if you qualify to try pheromones for yourself, that you'll do so responsibly. Promise? Okay, great. Well, let's get started, because this will only take a few minutes. Let me start by saying that you don't need me to tell you that just because a person is married, it doesn't mean that they're sexually getting their needs met. It's not your fault. Sexless marriages are an epidemic these days. With all the hectic schedules, stress from work, and the non-stop media distractions, experts agree that having sex less than 10 times a year is considered to be a sexless marriage. Is that you? Let me ask you a question. It's not just sexless, is it? You, like me, know that sexless is also affectionless. And an affectionless marriage can be its own kind of nightmare. Being married and living with someone that you can't have is like being in a room full of air that lacks oxygen. You can breathe it, but you get nothing from it. And just because you're married and going through all the motions, you're not getting your needs met. You die just a little bit every day. You feel invisible, trapped. But you don't want a divorce for all the obvious reasons, like breaking up a family, finances, the idea of your spouse finding somebody else, or worse, the thought of your kids calling someone else dad or mom someday because your marriage fell apart. It's an unthinkable thought. Plus, the idea of living or worse, dying alone is just unbearable. So you put up with it, night after night, lying there in the dark with the one and only person you're morally allowed to touch, and they're not having it. Plus, every discussion about sex ends up in a fight, and somehow it becomes your entire fault. It usually starts with something like, "Is that all you think about, blah, blah, blah?" And if they do give in and agree to sex, it's not like making love, is it? I mean, you may as well be in bed with a motionless mannequin. And when it's all over, you actually feel worse and lonelier than you did before you had sex. Why? Because, newsflash, you don't want them to just give it up. You want them to love it. You want them to want to do it. And you want to be wanted. Your ego demands it, and your heart breaks for it. The loneliness of it all seems endless, and where does it end? And for single people, believe it or not, being alone can seem even more hopeless. Not a day goes by that a single person doesn't feel the pain of loneliness. Plus, every holiday and every party or event is just another reminder to yourself and to the rest of the world that you're single. When all of your friends are married and you're still single, it's its own kind of brand of stigma that you have to live with every time that you see them. The world is built for couples, and couples are built for couples. Single people don't seem to fit in except with other singles. And that's another thing. If you've ever been with a group of aging singles, you'll know what I mean when I say it's a bit like entering the island of broken and misfit toys. God love them, but there's a reason why they're single. A good catch is a rare and endangered species, and a really good catch is either already taken or they're not single for very long. The trick is to be able to attract that person within that small window of opportunity, to be the one that they gravitate to when that tiny window of opportunity opens up and they're finally available. And if you feel like you should have cracked this nut by now, trust me when I say it's not your fault. Pheromones could have given you the help that you needed, but this information has been kept from you. The big media fat cats of the world have done everything that they can to keep you from learning about pheromones. Google, Facebook, the ad networks, even print media won't allow us to get the message out about pheromones. They think they know what's best for you and what you should and shouldn't hear about. Well, screw them. You're here now, and that's all that matters, because you're about to discover something so simple, so easy to use, and so outside of the box, you may not have ever considered it before now. And it's one of nature's secret weapons that bring the sexes together to help them mate and continue the circle of life on this beautiful blue planet. I'm talking, of course, about pheromones. And the main question you may be asking yourself right now is, what are pheromones, how do they work, and where do they come from? And those are great questions, and I'm glad you asked. To explain it, I'll start by saying that pheromones are natural chemical hormones, like a scent that an animal emits to attract the opposite sex and draw them in. And by draw them in, I mean have sex, procreation. I don't know if maybe you've seen the power of pheromones at work but didn't realize it at the time, but if you've ever seen a female dog or cat in heat or ovulating, what happens? You have to hide the female if you don't want her to get pregnant. You just can't keep the males away. Why? Because when the female's in heat, she emits a powerful pheromone scent, signaling her fertility. And the males pick up on this special scent, and they literally come from all around, seemingly from out of the woodwork, just to mate with her. How else would they know that she's ovulating? It's the pheromones, and it drives the males wild with mating desire. Now, pheromones are not limited to just attracting males. Females are highly sensitive to a certain specific kind of pheromone called androhormones and are similar to testosterone. And I'll explain more of that in a minute, but it's not just for dogs and cats either, because if it were, you wouldn't be watching this video right now, right? One thing you should know about pheromones is that nearly every species in the animal kingdom uses pheromones on some level to help find mates and procreate, including you and I. Scientists have known about pheromones in animals since about the late 1800s, and it's well documented that many species communicate and attract mates with chemical pheromone signals. But they were not discovered in humans until 1986 at the Monell Chemical Synthesis Center in Philadelphia. Since then, every aspect of pheromones in humans have been studied. It was discovered that men and women naturally produce and secrete pheromones like a natural sexual musk through their sweat glands in concentrated amounts around their underarms, nipples, and groins. Several double-blind and university studies show that men and women exposed to pheromones instantly spike in circulating hormones, and that has a direct impact on elevated mood, attraction, and sex drive. One group of Swedish researchers were able to use brain imaging to demonstrate the subconscious effects these odor signals have on the brain and the brain's systems that affect social and emotional activity. These brain images show that the arousing effects can occur in a matter of seconds. So imagine this. One moment you're having a simple conversation with an attractive individual, and the next moment they are feeling the irresistible tug of attraction for you. Their brain and hormones are subconsciously working on your behalf that you might get lucky. How amazing is that? When I first learned about these things, I was so excited I was jumping out of my skin with anticipation. But see, here's the problem with our natural pheromones. They are going largely unnoticed. We wash away, hide, mask, or cover up 99% of our natural pheromones with daily bathing, layers of clothing, and endless amounts of soaps and fragrances. With every shower or bath, our love lives are literally going down the drain. Now, it may seem like I'm reaching for the obvious pun, but the fact of the matter is that it happens to be true. But just because we wash them away doesn't mean that we don't have the means to detect and respond to pheromones in amazing ways. In a moment, I will show you how men and women can supplement with ultra-high quality, lab-grade pheromones on the exposed areas of skin like the back of the neck, forearms, in just a minute. However, before I do, let me show you precisely how pheromones work so that you'll know how to use them for maximum effect. Now, according to Dr. Ivanka Savic at the Karolinska Institute, the whole process all starts with a tiny organ called the VNO, which stands for the vomeronasal organ. In most animals, including humans, the VNO is a half-moon-shaped structure that sits just a few centimeters inside the nasal cavity, and its sole function is to detect pheromones sent in the air. When the nearly odorless scent of pheromones are detected in sufficient quantity, the VNO sends a signal along specialized nerve pathways, also known as the O nerve. Now, signals lead from the VNO and run directly to the limbic area of the brain. The limbic area, including the hypothalamus, is also known as the seat of emotions, and it's well known for its ability to alter emotions, hormones, and reproductive sexual behavior. behavior. Ordinary non-pheromone smells, such as the scent of food or flowers, are recognized by a different part of the nose called the olfactory epithelium, which does not reach the limbic area. Because pheromones are nearly odorless and we can't see them, all the events occur subconsciously. Even though we can't see or smell them, pheromones can arouse a person's interest with gut-level passion by triggering the attraction signals we're already programmed to feel. Are you married? Can you remember what it felt like when it seemed that the two of you couldn't keep your hands off of each other? Imagine for a moment what it would feel like again if pheromones could quietly awaken a playfulness in your partner, giving them a renewed sexual interest in you. Or perhaps you're single, and how much better would your love life be if the casual conversations you have throughout the day were with members of the opposite sex that were wildly attracted to you? Now, with the advent of new human pheromone technology, these powerful scents can be synthesized in a laboratory and worn on the skin as a lotion for maximum effect. Best part is, pheromones are practically odorless, and no one will know you're wearing them. I don't know when you'll first notice them working. Perhaps you'll be at home with your spouse, or out in public, in a store or restaurant. In public places, you'll notice more lingering looks or sideways glances. Perhaps you'll be at a store, and you seem to be getting more flirtatious attention from the staff than you're normally used to. Or you'll be at home, as you welcome more affectionate overtures or sexual spontaneity from your partner. But when you notice them working, you might crack a little smile or a smirk to yourself, knowing that you have a little secret that's all your own, and it will feel good. Now, one more thing, and this is something important to understand, and that is that men and women respond to different types of pheromones. Let me just take a few seconds to explain. Women respond to a class of pheromones called androhormones, and these are the specific pheromones in Dr. Men's formula to attract women, and each of these are derivatives of testosterone. Men naturally secrete these hormones sensed through their sweat glands and are found in concentrated areas around the underarms, nipples, and groin. Men, on the other hand, are responsive to a class of pheromones that are derivatives of estrogen, such as estrotetraenol, and another class of pheromones called copulins. Both of these scents are natural pheromones found in vaginal fluids and are at their highest concentration during ovulation. These compounds are literally the scent of fertility, just like with the dog and the cat scenario that we mentioned earlier. Men are aroused by the subtle scent of fertility, and without their conscious awareness, the VNO picks up on the presence of the pheromones, and a few moments later, their bodies are beginning to prepare itself for sex by releasing hormones that affect mood and sexual desire. Applying pheromone advantage is as easy as a few drops on the exposed areas of skin like the back of the neck and the forearms. And that's it. The pheromones will do the rest on their own. Now, can you imagine being armed with pheromones and then walking into a crowded venue? And as you make your way through the room, men and women, eyes behind you begin to follow your every move. When you stop and turn, you notice lingering looks and smiles greeting your glance as you look back. And in no time at all, conversational and flirting opportunities pop up all around you like little hungry birds looking for a little snack of you. Now, in a moment, you can take advantage of this phenomenal advance of modern science for yourself. But first, I want you to hear from a few anonymous customers who responded to a survey that we sent out. One said, "Your product gave me my life back. Don't you dare stop selling this product. My husband and I have been using this product for the last 7 years. We're both approaching 80, but our sex life is back on track. Your product gave me my life back. Don't you dare ever stop selling this product. Just don't." Another customer said, "So far, so good. Usually it takes me weeks to get up the courage to talk to a woman. There's a coworker I'd hoped would notice me, but she always walked past me without a thought. Then when I used Pheromone Advantage the first time, I walked by her in the hall and she asked me how I was doing. That led to her coming over to my office and she asked me if I wanted to go out for drinks. It's only been a couple of weeks, but so far, so good." This customer said, "Dr. Men's Pheromone Advantage has landed me the woman of my dreams. Right from the first time that we met, she was attracted to me. So we've been dating now for 6 weeks, and everything is progressing well. She's told me that she doesn't know why she's attracted to me because I'm not really her usual type. Dr. Men's Pheromone Advantage worked for me." And a couple more. "Well, for one thing, I felt more energetic, and my fiancé was being friendlier than ever. I could see that the pheromones were working in a way because me and he has been fighting all the time, but the last few weeks, things have gotten a lot better. Okay, and lastly, I got it to wake up my wife. It works. We went from doing the wild thing from once a week to 5 to 6 times weekly. Be careful though, if you're married, it also seems to attract other women, not just your wife." Okay, let's recap. If you're in any way feeling unappreciated and have a burning desire to turn things around, And if you want to go on more dates or have more affection, more intimacy from your present relationship, and if you constantly get the feeling that things just could be better, or that you're concerned that your current relationship barely has a pulse, and you want it to give it that jolt of attraction that it needs, then Dr. Men's proprietary blend of pheromones can attract the opposite sex and will literally flood your love life with a tsunami of attention, affection, love, intimacy, and sex that you so very much deserve and need. And if you're ready to feel more alive than you ever have in your life, and to have more passion, more romance than you ever dreamt possible, then I'm going to give you this chance right now to get your hands on your very own supply of Pheromone Advantage as a member of our VIP test group. You are about to try the Rolls Royce of pheromone supplements. This means that harnessing the attraction power of these amazing pheromones is as easy as clicking the button below. You see, Pheromone Advantage is completely different than any other low-quality pheromone product you might find on the internet today that mostly smell like cheap cologne or perfume that you might find at a yard sale. Instead, Pheromone Advantage is nearly odorless and contains no added fragrances whatsoever. It's made with a special process with the highest quality and purest lab-grade pheromones in the world. And we have spared no expense to conduct the most cutting-edge research and then circle the globe to find the very best ingredients for the purest and most effective formulation possible. But this literally limits the supply of this amazing pheromone formula each month because we have to import these ingredients from around the world because of the laws of supply and demand. And one of the key ingredients of our formula is so rare that it costs over $700 per gram and is in constant short supply. If you tried to get your hands on all the ingredients in just a single bottle of Pheromone Advantage, you would pay well over $1,000. But because you made it to this website through the special invitation, you won't pay $1,000 or even $500 or even $200. Nope. When you act right now, you'll get your hands on a full bottle of Pheromone Advantage in the special VIP offer for only $97. Do you think that attracting more attention and getting more lovers and spicing up your love life and feeling better about your life and your future is worth $97? I think so too. But I'm not stopping there. If you act right away and reserve your bottle of Dr. Men's Pheromone Advantage, you'll have a spot in our VIP group, which entitles you to our VIP pricing at only $49.95 a bottle. Why would I approve such a drastic price break? Well, the answer is actually simple. In our pursuit to push the boundaries of our research, we need people to share their results with us, specifically the ever-increasing benefits that begin to start when you've been using Pheromone Advantage for at least 30 days or more. To that end, I have instructed the lab to set aside an entire supply of Pheromone Advantage so that you can share your success stories with us, and my team of scientists will have a growing body of evidence to show the long-term properties of this amazing product. Think about it. You'd pay more than $49.95 for dinner and a movie or membership on some dating site or 10 days of getting your coffee at Starbucks. And none of these things, not even the dating website, can give you the kind of dating and mating potential that pheromones can give you each and every day. Are you ready to experience the power of Pheromone Advantage? Good. But I'm going to make you a deal you can't pass up. You don't even have to make a decision now. In fact, I'm so totally confident that you'll love Pheromone Advantage and that it's going to change your love life for the better. I'm going to do something that our accountants are telling me that I simply cannot do. I'm going to let you try Pheromone Advantage for a full 6 months. And for any reason you're not fully delighted with the results, simply return the unused portion and I'll buy it back. That's right, I'll send you a full bottle of Pheromone Advantage right now. And if at any time you decide that it's not working for you within 6 months, just return the unused portion, no questions asked. A full 6 months. Am I nuts? Well, maybe. But I wanted to personally get the awesome power of Pheromone Advantage into as many VIP hands as I can before our supplies run out. I'm 100% convinced of the power of Pheromone Advantage. I'm willing to stick my neck out there and take all the risk. I want you to experience the effects of our proprietary blend of rare, ultra-quality, lab-grade pheromones for yourself and wake up to a happier, more satisfied version of yourself. And if you don't, I'll give you all your money back, no questions asked. I only ask that you send me the empty bottle. Now, I have a hunch that Pheromone Advantage will be so effective at attracting the opposite sex. Let me give you fair warning because of the dramatic results that people just like you are already experiencing. You might find that you need to be humble when people start to notice the changes in your life, the extra spring in your step, the glow of confidence that radiates from a person whose love life is giving them everything that they had hoped and dreamt for. Okay, here's the situation though, and you're really going to need to act right now. We've only set aside a certain number of bottles for our VIP memberships, and when they're gone, they're gone. And while you're waiting for your personal supply of Pheromone Advantage, I'm going to tell you to get ready for some action. Go get that haircut or that bikini wax that you've been putting off. Trust me when I say that you'll want to be ready for just about anything, because anything could and will likely happen on a regular basis. When you use pheromones, the opposite sex will start to linger their attention with more smiles, more eye contact, and playful touching. All conversations seem to be more intense with perfect strangers, dropping bold sexual innuendos when no one else is looking or listening. And you'll notice them working consistently harder to keep the conversation flowing. This immediate and positive feedback helps you become more comfortable around the opposite sex, as you find it exceedingly more easy to talk with men or women you've never met. Imagine yourself talking and mixing it up with several people all at once in flirtatious ways that you never thought possible. So right now, you have two options as I see it. Option 1, you can keep doing what you're doing and getting the same results. Option 2, if we haven't sold out by the time you've read this, join us right now and get your personal supply of Pheromone Advantage on its way to you. But hurry, and I can't stress this enough. You need to act to secure your place in our VIP test group. There are literally hundreds of people watching this very same video right now. And soon there will be a button appearing below this video. When it does, you're going to need to click it right away and fill out the information on the very next page to get your spot secured. Now, because you've watched this video all the way to this point, it becomes clear to me of two things that are true about you. Number 1, you're serious about your love life and you're ready to take action. Number 2, you know that you're looking for something to take you to that next level, something that will help you get over the hump in your love life and begin to feel appreciated and loved again. To feel that warm embrace of your lover's arms holding you tight once again each and every day. Okay? Click the Claim Your Spot button below before it disappears. However, if on the next page it says sold out, I apologize in advance, but somebody has already taken your spot for now. You've missed out on this fantastic opportunity, and I urge you not to let this happen. Click the button below, fill out the next page, and we'll rush you your first bottle of Pheromone Advantage straight to your door. From the moment that it arrives, you can put it on and take it out for its first test spin. Where will you go? What will you do? Perhaps you'll go shopping or to a crowded restaurant as you start to notice more flirtations and second glances with wide smiles and open eyes. Or maybe you'll just wait for your spouse to get home and notice if they don't sit a little closer, or even stop everything that they're doing just to talk with you about your day as the mood between you warms up. And don't forget that if you're not satisfied for any reason, you can return the unused portion and get a full refund within 6 months of the date of purchase. You really have nothing to lose. Click the button below now and get started before it's too late. There's no time to waste. I wished I could make that decision for you and press that button so I could personally guarantee that you get your spot. But it's up to you now. Remember the saying, he who hesitates is lost? This saying is especially true for people who are looking for a better life. In fact, it should really say, he who hesitates will lose. Why do I say that? Because if you let life pass you by and you hesitate, you have zero chance to experience the difference Pheromone Advantage will make. Click the button on this page and claim your spot in our exclusive test group before it's taken away by somebody else. Now one more thing. Do you secretly find yourself looking at other couples thinking, why can't I find someone and be happy like that couple? Or that somehow you see a happy couple and wonder if you'll be alone for the rest of your life? It doesn't have to be that way. You can be that person. Click the button and get your personal supply of Pheromone Advantage and start now. And don't let loneliness ruin another minute of your life. Take action. Take control of your love life. And take control of your love life. Thank you for watching this video, and I wish you the very best of luck to the lucky few who are about to reserve their supply of Pheromone Advantage and get in on the other side. I have an exclusive surprise waiting for you right after you do. I hope to see you there soon, and remember our personal 100% satisfaction guarantee. All you have to do is say, yes, I want more love, more affection, and more sex. And I understand that I can return the product at any time and request a 100% money-back refund less any shipping and handling with absolutely no hassle. Plus, all the free reports are mine to keep no matter what. Click the Add to Cart button now and get your shipment of Pheromone Advantage directly to your door. Plus 3 extra special bonuses for taking action to support your love life right now. You'll be so happy you did. when you start seeing the immediate results.